Hi, my name's John. Welcome to the first in a series of videos all about this Arcdroid C.N.C plasma cutting system. As you know, I have got a 4 foot by 2 foot plasma table supplied by Rob at Extreme Plasma. I was at the NEC a couple of weeks ago and he had one of these Arcdroids on a demonstration thing, and it's the first time I've actually had a go with the one myself, and I was most impressed. It's got one outstanding feature, which is the tracing thing. So simple to use, you don't need to be computer wizard. If you can draw it freehand, you can cut it with this. Anyway, one thing led to that, and Rob had a demo one there, and I brought it home with me, and I'm going to sort of put it through its paces and do some cutting with it. I'm going to start with the basics, how you set it up. We'll probably end up making a little bench for it to do its cutting on. I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into it. As well as this, I was also talking to Rob from ArcTech welding. They've got a new plasma cutter, a P51D. The D's for digital because it will work with a C.N.C cutter straight out of the box. He's going to send one of them up as well, so it's going to be like a two-part review all combined into one. Review on this, review on the plasma cutter as a C.N.C item, and then also some plasma cutting, some real heavy bar. It's got a gouge feature on for gouging welds. I'm really looking forward to having a go at that. So I'm going to open the box, show you what's in here. Don't forget, it is an ex-demo, so it's been used. It's not pristine new, but it's all been serviced and it works as should. Right, let's have the box opened and see exactly what's in here. Set of instructions, instructional manual, which appears to be in English, not Chinglish, because it is a Canadian machine. It's not Chinese for a change. Some sort of a jig. I think that's a set-up jig for setting things up to make sure things are nice and square and true. I haven't got a great lot of space in any of my workshops, so what I'm going to do is mount all this on top of my existing plasma table. I'll make some brackets for it so it can save a little bit of space that way. That's a control panel come computer. Doing quite a lot of work with this. That's basically all it is. You don't need a PC. Everything works from that little box. This is the actual unit here. I'm not quite sure how heavy it is. That's a stylus, like a pen. That's what you use for doing your tracing. And that's a bracket for the torch, so they both clip on, and clip off. It's all quite nicely made, very impressed. I think this all comes out as one unit now. Indeed it does. Oh! We'll just put the box in the other shed because this will be going back once I'm finished with it. I've just put a shelf on top of my plasma table so I can work on there. I quite often cover this up and use it as a workbench because I've got very limited space in here. Right, so it's all properly wrapped up in polystyrene. Like I say, this unit has been used, so it is dirty, but that's all it is. Right. That's the actual arm. So your torch or your stylus goes on there and it cuts in an arc. Whatever size arc it cuts in, we'll find all that out. I'm going to get the instructions out and see what all the bits of wires and things go. Have a look at that and then we'll come back and see if we can power it up. I might give it a little bit of a clean before we actually start with it. Saying there, that's where you put your spirit level to line it all up. It's got to be nice and flat. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to mount it yet, but it is going to be mounted on top of this plasma table probably on some sort of steel bracketry. I've built a small table for the Arcdroid to cut on. I've got the Arcdroid all set up and calibrated. I'm not going to show you how to set it up and calibrate it. There's tons of videos on YouTube showing you how to do that, probably better than I can. But I must admit, it wasn't a difficult job and it was quite enjoyable, and you do learn a lot about the machine just by calibration. As you can see, I've got it mounted on top of my plasma table, C.N.C plasma table. This is a C.N.C plasma arm. It's mounted here because basically I've got no space. That's one of the beauties of this. It is a very small compact unit which can be used anywhere. You can put it on the back of a pickup and use it on a site. As long as you've got compressed air and 240 volts, it will work. The plasma table uses CAD, computer aided design. This also uses CAD, but a different type of CAD. Cardboard aided design. We've all cut out templates of cardboard, traced them onto a bit of steel, attacked them with a drill and an angle grinder to try and get the shape we want. This takes it to a next level. It's unbelievable. It's got a trace function on that no other C.N.C plasma cutter has got. It is absolutely unique to Arcdroid. I think that and its portability is its major selling points. People say, what area can it cut in? It cuts in a 660 by 380 square. So that's 380, 660. It will cut bigger because it does work in an arc. Okay? But the actual square you can cut is 660 by 380. You can also get a kit which extends and it doubles it. So then you've got really a bigger area to cut on. Suitable plasma cutters to work with this machine. We recommend the ArcTech P51D. It ticks all the boxes. It's a straightforward plug-in job. That's the lead. It plugs into the back of the plasma cutter and has two wires going to the back of the droid, and that's it. It's got the correct interface. I think it's good value for money. It's got plenty of power. People say, how thick will it cut with the P51D? Realistically, 8mm because you've got to pierce it, but believe me, I'm going to try some thicker material and see what it actually will cut. If you're good with computers and you can do CAD design work, you can design something at work, at home, whatever, put it on a memory stick as a DFX file, plug it into here and you can cut DFX files. You can also do drawing to a certain degree. It's got basic shapes and things in which I will go through in detail in a little bit later. But the main thing I want to get across to here is the trace function. I think it's absolutely astounding. It really is a game changer, especially for people that aren't that good with computer work. Basically, if you can freehand draw it, you can cut it on this setup. This is the user interface, or the control box if you want to use layman's terms. I'll show the controls and things a little bit later on. This is the arm, on the end of the arm I've got a stylus with a little laser point on. That's what I use for tracing drones. Once you've traced your drone and saved it, you need to cut it. That simply unclips off there and the standard ArcTech torch clips on. Simple as that. It runs on a 240 volt supply in the back. There's one wire which plugs into the control box. There's a wire which plugs into your stylus, and there's a lead I've already shown. This one here which connects the machine to the plasma cutter. As I said before, this is the control panel. The first button is a home button. Before you use the plasma cutter, you press home and that puts the robot arm back to home position so it knows where it is. The next one's a 0. You set a 0 so it knows where to start cutting. We're going to be using trace quite a lot. Load, you use that if you want to put a DFX file in from a memory stick. And tune, it's to set your different cutting parameters, your feed rates, clearances, curve, arc delay. It gets a little bit complicated, but I'm not going to go into all that. I don't need to. All I want to do is show you how to cut shit up. So one there, that's calibration, machine settings, date, time, file name, touchscreen. It's all controllable. The more you get into it, the more you'll use it. I'm going to press the home button. And the arm moves back to its partner position so it knows exactly where it is. The little green dot on the screen is the actual probe, or where the torch would be. That's the front of the machine there. So if we move the arm, the little dot moves. That is the centre of the torch or the centre of the probe. Simple as that. I've got a cardboard template here of a part I need to cut from. This piece of steel. It's held down by two computer hard drive magnets there, ideal. It's also got a 20mm hole in there. I want to do the hole first. So use a stylus to pick up the centre of the hole using the little laser pointer, which is there. Press 0, then press trace. Go into the shape menu, and we want circle. Circle needs to be 20mm diameter, that's the diameter of it there. 20, so you can go up or down by using the little hand wheel or by typing in the actual numbers you want. 20. Okay. Then we'll go into this one here, which allows it to draw the outside shape. We'll bring the stylus around, we'll pick a point, press that, and that puts in what they call a node, which is very similar basically to a centre punch mark. Another straight line, another one. Then we've got a curve. You can either follow the curve freehand, or you can put nodes every so far. The more nodes you put, or the more pop marks you put, the more accurate and better it's going to be. Carry on, putting your little pop marks on. So you get to a straight line, which is there. And we'll simply go down to that corner there. You can see on the screen how it's actually tracing, drawing the part I'm tracing. Same again, we've got a curve on here. Put your nodes or your centre punch marks. I'm going to make a holder for this control box. It'll make things a lot simpler. And basically it's all the way along to this corner, another straight line, down to that one, and that's basically the drone done. You can put that way across there. Right, so if we go exit, exit, that's the drone that we've just done. That's what it's going to cut. And that's the stylus there, you can put that anywhere you want. So if we had the cutting torch in there, now it's a simple case of press and run. In the torch comes. It's going to put the hole in first. There's a 20mm hole. We'll move to the outside and start tracing the outside. And back to the beginning. That's it. So now it's stored in there, knows what it's going to cut. We can put the torch on and cut one of those. Torch simply locks into place with those two levers. That's the torch secure, basically ready to cut. This is ArcTech's new plasma cutter, the P51D, D for digital. It's an ideal machine to use in conjunction with the Arcdroid. Got an earth connection. That's your plasma cable, your torch, and there's a computer interface cable on the back. On the left it shows air pressure. The top one is cutting amps, there's an air check. We're running 67 psi air, that's ideal. We've got 2T, 4T and C.N.C cutting. Obviously we want to be on C.N.C. We've got a tip saver, auto pellet and a gouge. I'm looking forward to having a bit play with the gouge. I do like gouging things. So we're going to go into C.N.C. It's 35 amps. I'm cutting 3mm plate. Drop that down to 32, 33 amps should be ideal. Check the air pressure again. 67, perfect. I am going to do a video purely and simply on this machine once I've finished using it in conjunction with the Arcdroid. On the top of the control panel there's a little electric sign, like a lightning bolt sign with a circle to it. That means at the minute the torch is not alive, so if I press run, it'll do a dummy run without firing the arc. And so you can see the torch moving. It'll cut the hole first, then it'll go around and cut out the outside of the shape. This is just to prove that everything's going to work right. You don't want to start wasting material. And obviously I'm cutting the part out of the corner of a sheet. You don't go straight into the middle. Although I know some people that do. So the next thing is to make the torch live and actually cut the part out. And obviously I'm going to remove the control panel from there, the interface from there. It is fairly robust, but you don't want to short in molten metal. Right, so I'm quite happy that that's going to do the job. Put that across there somewhere. Make the torch live. Press run. It should go. Nice crisp clean start up. It's always a good sign when the part drops through, you've got the cutting speed and amperage about right. Right, that's the part cut. Decent quality cuts. The circle's right. If you notice there's a little mark on there because I had to offset the wrong way. That mark should be on the scrap part of the plate. Not a problem, it's a steep learning curve. But it basically cuts shit up exactly like it's supposed to do. Happy with that. Very happy. I've got loads of DFX drones saved on little memory sticks. I've picked one at random. I'm going to put this in to the side of the Arcdroid controller and see if I can find a file to cut. Simply plug it into there. That shows the various files that are on this memory card. We'll scroll down. That's a good one, Vulcan DXF. I'm sure that was somebody's sign for somebody's house. That moves it round so you can put it wherever you want it on the piece of metal to make sure you can get it in. Move a 0 point like that. Right, I'll set the machine up 30 amps again because I'll cut in 3mm plate and see if we can get one cut out. So it is doing what it's supposed to do. Let's put the number in there, it'll cut out that outline. It's quite a big cut out. This, like I say, it was a door sign for somebody. Right, I'm going to make a torch live and actually cut the thing. Put some extractor fans on. it cut that shape no problem using a DFX file off my computer. And I could email that file to you and you could cut that. That's the way it works. I did say I was going to try some thicker material. I'll go and see what I can find and see if we can get some sort of idea of how thick you can actually cut using the P51D in conjunction with the Arcdroid. I've got a bit of 10mm plate here. I just want to see if it will pierce and cut a hole in the 10mm plate. So I'm going to trace shapes, hole or circle rather, down to the circle 40mm, that'll be okay. 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 We'll cut it where it is right in the end of the plate. It's pointless wasting material, so we'll set a 0 there. Exit, exit, and then we'll do a dry run. So that's going to cut a 40mm circle in that 10mm plate. It'll cut 10mm no problem. It's piercing the hole. That's where the difficult bit is. We're going to have a look in here just at the cutting parameters. So if we click on tune, feed rate 500, that's about right. We'll give it a try at that and see exactly what happens. The noise you get in here is the extractors. I've got the plasma cutter set at 45 amps. I'm going to press go. There's a lot wrong with that, really, is there? Do another one. Right, that should be a much better camera angle. We'll give it a try at that. Torch live, run. See, it's the initial pierce, it's the hard bit. Right, this time we're going to cut a square so we can get some nice square edges on it. Well, there's nothing much the matter with that, is there? That's a beautiful square, clean cut, very, very slight taper. But basically, there's nothing the matter with that. That's genuine 10mm plate. I think it'll cut thicker, but I haven't got any. Right there, the parts have just cut out. That's actually still hot. If we look on the back, it's very clean indeed. No dross at all. The settings are just right. Circles are the same. Really happy. This P51D seems to have a lot more punch than the P50 I'm using. I'm not sure that being a new machine or what, because my old one has done a lot of work. And I hope this one does a lot of work as well. To sum it up, what a fantastic bit of kit. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it does it very well. It'll never be a replacement for a plasma table. They're a totally different thing. But for something portable that can do the trace and cut as easy as that, it's basically a no-brainer. There is a link in the description box to Extreme Plasma showing this and the plasma cutter. They're actually on special offer at the minute. There's also a link to the ArcTech website. If you do get in touch with Rob, by all means use my name. It certainly won't do you any harm anyway. Thanks for watching.